what about my kids? They'll be standing at their skull.
It's not paua, but it's next best thing. Okay, just we're acting under the directions of the police.
Gisborne is one of many areas where fish stocks are under threat, and today these fisheries officers are tackling the problem of overfishing through a checkpoint on the road from Wainui Beach.
Ministry of Fisheries.
Sorry.
Doesn't like my badge. We're just doing some routine inspections of vehicles today. You haven't got any fish product on board?
No.
This checkpoint is also a training exercise. For many officers, it's their first encounter with the public.
No other dogs in the back? Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, thanks.
Good dog, good protective dog.
Thank you.
Bye.
A sunny day at the beach keeps the trainees busy, but this station wagon is about to prove an eye-opener for even the most experienced officers.
What area are we right now? Clear the station wagon.
A search of the boot reveals 2 large sacks of cannabis.
I'll get on the phone now. Yeah, hi, look, it's Brad down from Ministry of Fisheries here. We've got a vehicle stopped. We are at Wainui Beach, just north of Gisborne. We've stopped the car and it's got 2 large bags of cannabis in the back, 2 large rubbish sacks full of cannabis. Can we have some police assistance there as soon as possible? Just quickly. Obviously we're with Ministry of Fisheries.
Brad explains to the couple he's called for police assistance and they're on their way.
Okay.
And what about my kids? They'll be standing at their skull.
Okay. Just we're acting under the directions of the police. The police have instructed us.
How long have you guys been here for?
A little while, but that's okay. The police are on their way now. Okay. So do you understand that? Do you understand? Excellent.
Look at all this sticking.
What we've just had happen here is something that does happen from time to time, fisheries checkpoint. I've spoken to police, immediately got on the phone to police communications, advised them of the situation and asked for some backup.
The police are at the scene within minutes, and a further search of the vehicle reveals another bag of cannabis. And while the guy openly admits to owning the drugs, he seems less sure about the car.
Look at that pink.
Good stuff, eh?
Is this your car?
Hey?
Is this your car?
Where does she live?
Whose car? Whose car is it?
Oh, it's not under any of us.
Well, whose car is it? That's not what I asked.
Chase.
Who's that?
Oh, it's not. We haven't changed the ownership since we
Whose
bought
car is it? You bought it?
No, I didn't buy it. My sister
His
bought it.
sister bought it for us. How much you had to drink? You weren't driving, were you? No, I wasn't.
This is clearly not his first beer today, which is perhaps why he seems to think there's a chance of saving his crop.
Nothing with this.
The cannabis will be incinerated, but today's unusual catch has been a memorable find for Brad and the other fisheries officers.
It's not paua, but it's next best thing.
The guy pleaded guilty to charges of cultivating and possession of cannabis and was ordered to do 75 hours community service, and the woman received a warning. Each year, as summer turns to a distant memory, the peace of Fjordland is shattered by groups of hunters and fishers out to chance their luck at the annual Red Stag Roar. And every Easter, the Department of Conservation and the Ministry of Fisheries join the party, with a joint operation to ensure that everybody's keeping to the rules.
So what I'm going to do is take one, just put that aside.
Each of these divers is allowed to have 15 crayfish. It's a generous limit, but have the guys stuck to it.
What we're doing at the moment, guys, is trying to get an appreciation of how compliant you all are. And we'll do the next bag as well, please. Yeah. Well, it might even out. We'll just see.
They've obviously had a very successful trip, and all seems good at first. But by the end of the count, there are 5 crayfish over the limit. This party of divers putting it all down to a counting error.
Hello, guys. How are you?
But there's not enough people on the next boat for there to be any excuses if the rules are broken.
Do you mind if we come on board? We're Ministry of Fisheries and Department of Conservation.
See that?
Lovely.
Being flagged down by a fisheries officer in the remoteness of Fjordland could be considered unlucky, but everyone seems relaxed.
And catch, what's mainly your mix of stuff you got on board?
Mix. What we've actually caught is I've got a little bit of cod. I don't know, 3 or 4 fillets or something in the freezer up front.
Yeah.
I've got half a dozen crayfish and 1 tuna.
1 tuna, all right.
That's about it.
Sure,
The tuna, caught outside the sounds, is a very nice fish, But it's a different story when Steve picks out one of the crayfish.
Yeah, female. It's undersized there. Just Did you have a gauge at all, Frank? Where's your one?
Where's the gauge, mate?
And do you know who measured the catch at all? Or?
I have to take responsibility.
It's all right. So we're that's the male and the female one. So this gauge just relies on you having to go like that, does it?
Yeah.
Whoever's been using it. Yeah. But we all agree that
that goes back.
Yeah. So
yeah. I wouldn't put it back here though.
The fact that the undersized crayfish has been sitting in a bucket for more than a day means that it's more than a little sick, but it will still be returned to the water and it might just survive.
it's doubtful whether it survives or not. It's still alive, but the law is if it's still alive, it should go back in the water. And we'll just talk to those divers who have taken their names, and we'll check back on our database whether they've had any previous warnings before. If so, they could get an infringement notice, or they get a warning letter.
But over on shore, a couple of divers have been spotted coming out of the water.
2 divers have taken the paua.
Definitely.
Yep. Any idea how many you took each, or just?
No.
No, just.
Honestly,
yep.
I don't know.
So 2 divers have taken them, and obviously come back here.
Yep.
Okay, so you were aware it was 10?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I told them that.
Yep. No, that's fine.
There's no drama.
Hey, do you have a customary permit for the paua at all, or are you just taking them as an amateur fisherman?
Just amateur.
Amateur fisherman. Yep. No, that's fine.
With 2 divers on the boat, the man should only have 20 paua, but he's actually got 38.
I mean, we could seize the whole lot. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We'll let you take your 20 that you and the other diver are entitled to.
Just pick out your 20.
21s.
While the man packs his catch, the other diver arrives, and it seems there's a fair amount of confusion about what they're allowed to take.
What was your understanding of the limit?
I thought we could have, to be honest, I thought we could have 10 per diver.
Right.
But, you know, obviously that's not correct. I mean, and the person on the boat.
Right, so you thought you could take the extra 10 for the...
You know, we didn't count them. We just thought there was...
About right, and okay, that's fine. You were aware that the limit was 10, but you just thought you could take another 10 for the boatman as well.
Exactly.
But even allowing for an extra 10 for the non-diver on the boat, these guys would still be 8 over their limit. And on top of that, they've shucked the paua at sea, meaning that they can't be checked for size.
And just in terms of the shucking of the paua, paua were shucked on board the boat?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Just so you're aware, paua probably should be landed in a measurable state. With the number you've got, it's in the lower level of seriousness. Worst case scenario, and you probably will get an infringement notice as a result of it. And as I said, we're going to leave you with 20. We could take the whole lot. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to leave you your 20. At least that'll give you a taste of them anyway.